Welcome back to another episode of Not As Debatable. I am Sidney Smith. That is my brother there to my left, or it looks like to your right, Dion Curry. We're back, man. It is Monday, and you know monies don't start cracking until we start cracking. You can't see her hair yet. You'll see August soon. August O'Neill is back with us. She is on the board screening text messages and being in the background doing what black aunties do when other people are talking, just saying shit like, ain't that right? Oh, you better go ahead, girl. So you guys will hear her in the background even if you can't see her. We got a great show lined up for you guys. Thank you guys for being with us. Quick. Shout out to all of our patrons. I'm going to say Mary is at the top of that list, I'm going to say, because Mary is our largest contributor at this point. So shout out to all of you. Mary at the top of that list. We love her the most because we're like parents. We have favorites. So Mary, thank you so much. We do appreciate it. For those of you out there who have not become Patreon members yet, you can do it for as little as $1. Easy peasy, easy peasy. Just go to Sidney Smith Creative, CRE, the number 8TIV.com, and click on that Patreon button. Thank you guys who are listening to us on the podcast. We love it. We appreciate it. Thank you guys who listen and watch us on YouTube. We love it. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you guys who join us each and every week live. Thank you. Go ahead and start clicking that share button right now. And those of you who listen to the podcast, if you like us, tell people. If you think we suck, tell people. We don't care. Just tell people, man. Just tell people. You know, like a car accident. Tell like this when you eat a terrible sandwich. Like, oh my God, I ate that sandwich over there, man. The place is terrible. 6 people you know end up going to buy the same damn sandwich for some reason. So yeah, let them know you hate it, man. Yeah, how you doing, buddy?
I'm great. I hope people don't hate us. I hope they
You
enjoy
think?
the show as much
Hold
as
on,
we
hold on.
appreciate doing the show.
There's no way everybody's going to enjoy us. There are going
No,
to
no,
be
no, no, no,
people
no,
who
no.
walk away hating
That's
this show.
not what I said. That's not what I said. I said I hope people don't hate us. I ain't say nothing about the show. You can
Come
hate
on.
the show all you want to. I don't give a fuck. I just don't want you hating me. What you hate me for? I'm great. I'm awesome. I'm fantastic. I
Let
got
me
to deal
take you
with
off
you
screen.
on a weekly basis,
Oh,
so I
that's
should
right.
definitely be getting favor from God or something.
You should be getting favor from
Happy
God.
Monday to you. Well,
Son
I
of
am.
son of a bitch. All right, let's go ahead and bring August up onto the screen real quick so everyone can see. She combed her hair this week, so I want to make sure everybody sees it. August, what's good? How you
Oh,
doing?
whatever.
How you
Yeah,
doing?
that's it's my Ola Ray wig. I'm doing fabulous. How about yourselves?
We are good. We're good. Thank you for being with us again. We do
Close to
appreciate it.
midnight.
Nah, come on.
Something
I'm
evil's
I'm
lurking in the dark.
I'm recovering from my staycation this weekend in
Hey,
Beaver Bunch.
August, you are a funny person,
Thank you.
professional comedian, because people actually give you money to tell jokes. So, do you have anything coming up? What? People do give you money to tell jokes.
Yes, they do.
All right. So, do you have anything coming up you want people to know about that they can come out? Maybe might someone watching you here in the valley, possibly, or someplace else.
17th Father's Day weekend in Palm Springs. That's actually in the works. And I just got booked for a show in Sierra Madre, Arizona, for June 25th. And then I'm taking my podcast finally on the road next month as well, the Fat Girl podcast. So I try to take a little hiatus for a little bit from comedy so I can get these other things moving. And then June and July, just pick right back up.
All right. All right. We
So
appreciate it.
yeah.
We appreciate it. Dion, what's good, brother? You got anything coming up you want to tell the people about before we jump into the show?
No, the writers are on strike, so I'm down for the foreseeable future. I can't really plan anything. I've got a few shows that I'm trying to work on to get, but I don't know when that's going to end, so I've kind of kept my schedule open. But I did just see a comment from our long lost brother, Cedric Edison. What up, Ced? Long time no see, brother.
What up, said? It's all right, all right. Long time, long time. Glad you jumping back in here. I don't think really else. I have anything. I'm sure I'll be back doing some stuff. I got some stuff I'm waiting to hear about that's coming up here within the next couple of weeks. Still working towards my special for later this year, and still working on my film. So, but I definitely want to just say again, go check out the Patreon. You can keep up with everything there, plus get some bonus stuff as well. Uh, August, we got any comments from some folks before we jump into the show? We got a fun show, so I want to jump into it, but I want to make sure we give our
Oh
what's ups
yeah.
to anybody out there.
Yeah, Danielle Marie has said, "Hey, hey, hey, hi guys." That's what she put.
All right. What else is going on?
Bruce Belter has put, "Good evening, gents," and Mark Cornall is watching. And who my, he has those shirts that say "Choose Happiness," and my nail tech stole that shirt from me, so now she wears it anytime I come in.
There you go. Shout
But
out to
it's
Mark
spelled,
Cornell.
but it's spelled, penis, penis.
All right. Well,
Oh my
we
God.
didn't
What
we
are
didn't
you,
need to
five?
we didn't need to know about that at all. Can you go back to
That's
reading
what he put on
comments?
his shirt.
Go back to reading comments.
Oh, sorry. And this is this is Marisa. Marisa Hannigan says, "Thank you for making Mondays better."
Shout out to Mercer. She just had a birthday.
Oh,
We went out to dinner with her and her hubby and some other folks. Had a good time. So shout out to her and thanks for watching.
All right. And
happy
Danielle
birthday.
Marie says,
Belated.
"Fat Albert, her favorite."
Okay. All right. All right.
All
Well,
right.
let's go ahead and jump into the show. Uh,
All right.
let's try to get this tradition going. Keep it going. August, what is their first topic this week, there, ma'am?
The first topic is the NAACP has issued a warning to the CPs not to go to Florida.
And for the folks out there who don't know what CP, would you let them know, August?
Colored people.
For people who don't know what the CP stand for and NAACP, just in case you didn't know,
So
I I threw this out to Dion. I was up early this morning. I was reading through some stuff, and Dion and I didn't converse too much over the weekend for a couple of different reasons, but we didn't. So I saw this. I said, man, this seems like something we could really dig our teeth in, and I think that the master debaters would dig in on it too. Dion, I sent the article to you, and I know you did some research on your own because you always do. What were your thoughts on the NAACP telling colored people, keep your ass out of Florida, man? You may not want to travel there.
It's 2023, and why am I not shocked that black people should be going to Florida? I don't think the NAACP needs to be giving advisories to black people to stay the fuck out of Florida. It's only been home to Trump for the past since 2016. You got Ron DeSantis doing what Ron DeSantis can do to eradicate all black people from the history books. So the NAACP just now saying something to me just shows that black people be late for everything. Like y'all should have put this out years ago. Um, it's one of those things where it don't matter where you go in the country. If you're black and you represent a view that's opposite to the people who reside there and don't feel like you belong, you're gonna catch flack. So this whole warning, this whole advisory, if you will, to me is just it's political theater.
I'm with you, and that was the first thing I thought about. Why are we always late to everything? Why did the LGBTQ community, why did the Latino groups, they all beat us to this? We should have been on top of this months ago. Now, I personally don't think anybody who's LGBTQ, Latino, or black who wants to go to the state of Florida for whatever reason is going to stay out of it. If I did have to pick one group of people who probably would, it would be the LGBTQ community because they have shown the history, at least recent history, of standing together a lot more so than other groups, other minority groups. But that was my first thing. What took so long? Why wasn't this already something that was out there? Dion, why does it seem like we are late to the party for anything? This group has been around forever, obviously. They're late to everything when it comes to protection for us. At least it feels like to me. Am I wrong?
If I had the answer to that question, Sydney, I would gladly give it to you. But as a black person in this country, we operate on our own time. We are not the most organized. We are not the group that gets on the same page quickly. I mean, when it comes to things that are actually important, now we'll boycott some bullshit rap or some type of shoe person who says something crazy. We'll be quick to get rid of them. But when it comes to our actual well-being, you've got people who will argue, tooth and nail about keeping things the way they are because it ain't that bad or whatever. The NAACP should have been on this years ago. They should have been more vocal, but it is what it is. if you have a reason to go to Florida, whether it be vacation or work, you're not going to stop just because the NAACP says, "Hey, you probably shouldn't come here because it's whack down here." Like most black people know, that can happen to you anywhere in America, from Alaska to Florida and any place in between. You go anywhere and you're the minority in that area, there's chances are that people there are going to treat you a certain type of way. Florida has never been different. It won't ever be different, unfortunately. To me, they should be more vocal about pushing back on what's actually going on instead of warning folks not to come here, because everybody knows that Florida is a big tourist destination, and that's really what they're worried about, is your financial well-being, because everybody says money is power. But at the end of the day, it don't matter where you spend your money, it's all the same system. So what really are you solving?
Here's my thing when it comes to the NAACP. In August, I would love for you to jump in here as well. I'm gonna bring you up on screen also because I want to
Okay.
get your opinion here too. It feels like there's no real teeth in the NAACP anymore. Now I can't speak to when it originally started because that's before my time, but it seems like there's no real teeth in it. It seems like they don't really get behind anything because I think they are aware that they really can't do anything. When it comes to them, when it comes to the Black Caucus in Congress, them two can't get really anything done. It's not it's not unless when that falling star that happens every once in a while falls to where a black leader can really mobilize black voters to get behind anyone, i.e., Joe Biden back in 2020. Can they do anything? I think we as the people, black people, sometimes forget how much power we do possess in this country, voting power, buying power as well, that we
Mm-hmm.
miss out on a lot of things. And I think a lot of that is because we do not have any leaders or groups that have any real teeth that can do anything, say anything that anyone cares about, unless they're piggybacking onto the tail of another minority group organization. Dion, I'm going to go to you first and then come to August.
What, you don't need a leader to tell you what you should or shouldn't be doing with your money. The idea that you got to have some particular black person to be like, "Yo, we shouldn't do that," and then everybody else fall in line is ridiculous. The days of the 60s are over. You've got social media now where anybody can quote unquote be a leader. All you got to do is get a viral TikTok and you're the next big thing anyway. So the idea that the NAACP doesn't have teeth, well, they're a political organization and we all know they'll tell you what you want to hear in order to make you feel better, but they ain't actually going to do shit. That's how it's always been in politics. I'm going to say what I need to say to get the vote, and then I'm going to do what I want to do to make it up to the people who spent money on my campaign. The NAACP is no different. The Black Caucus is no different. It's the same shit with a different skin tone. And for me, it just goes to show how much they really care that they're just now saying something about it. Maybe they have said something about it, and this is just the first public instance of it. I don't know. I don't think that's the case, but even still, I don't need the NAACP to warn me about Florida. I already know about Florida.
You don't need it, but you are not the multitude within our group. So I think I don't need a leader. I don't think you need a leader. And I think we speak from that position. But I think the
Mm-hmm.
larger segment of our group and the larger segment of society in general are always looking for leaders. That's what makes this
Let me
world go
ask you this
round.
though.
And that's why people are so easily taken advantage of as well. Go ahead, Deon.
If you're not paying attention, are you, the NAACP speaking up? Is that going to make you pay attention? If you weren't paying attention before, what is it about the NAACP that's going to make you be like, oh, you know what? I should check them out?
I think
Because
I,
if you're of a certain young age, you don't really, they're not teaching about the NAACP in schools, so you're not learning that
Yeah.
history anyway. So it's not like that name is going to mean anything to you if you weren't paying attention before. Older folks like us, we get what the historical context of the NAACP is, but if you're in your 20s or late teens, NAACP don't really. You watch the award show, but you don't give a fuck about what they're actually supposed to stand for.
But to answer your question, yes, I think if, when people see NAACP in the headlines, clickbait, I think they still matter. Maybe not to the younger generations, but to a large portion of us, I think they still hold some type of sway. August, what's your thoughts?
Well, I saw that as well, but I explained that to Dion earlier. They don't want anyone coming down there Memorial Day weekend because that's almost like the new Freaknik. at this point if people don't know what Freaknik is for our generation. And it gets wild down there. That's why I refuse to go Memorial Day weekend. But I don't necessarily go to Florida. I go just to South Beach, which is really in Florida. But it gets wild down there in South Beach. And then the NAACP now isn't the only civil rights organization to declare a travel warning for Florida. So there was also LULAC, which is the League of United Latin American Citizens,
Mm-hmm.
and then the Equality Florida, which is the LGBTQ plus advocacy group.
Mm-hmm.
So there's just different, everyone's come together like, hey, just don't take your asses down there at this point. So I'm gonna hate it because I really love South Beach. I go down there to eat and get in the water. That's really about it.
Well,
And I'm not giving my money to them anymore.
all right,
I mean,
okay. I like it. I
it's only
like it.
$12. It's only $12, but
All
it's
right,
all right.
that's all right. It's enough of me. So, I, I think Dion had a good point there towards the tail end that the NAACP doesn't hold the sway that it over the masses like it used to, and that may be to answer my question of why they were last to jump in because those two other groups were first, and maybe that
Mm-hmm.
is because people do not care about what you are or you are not doing because we very rarely hear anything from you at all, especially when it comes to Florida. And I'm with you. I don't think we heard anything from them about Florida with everything that they've been doing. For people out there who don't know, and we're going to go to the comments here in a second. For people who don't know, there has been a lot of things that Ron DeSantis has done in Florida, where he's
Mm-hmm.
outlawed a lot of different things that public institutions, public colleges. He's in a head-to-head right now with Disney, which I do want to get into a little bit here after we go to the comments. But I think Disney's going to end up winning this little battle with them because they're pulling $1 billion off of the table. And let's see what the Floridians think about that. See if they still want to back their very precious Ron DeSantis. August, can we go to some of the comments, please?
Yes. All right. So Chelsea Travis says Florida is horrible. Danielle Marie, shit, ain't nothing good in Florida anyways. You ain't missing nothing.
Okay. A lot of humidity.
Bruce Belter. Bruce Belter said divisive political theater. And Bruce Belter, Dion just called you Sydney. Okay, let me skip that.
I wanna stop right there, Bruce. Bruce, expand expand on the divisive political theater. I wanna hear what do you mean by that, and maybe we'll dig into that. I just want to hear what you think about that. Sorry, August. I'll let you go ahead and continue.
That was just funny.
August, any more comments?
No, Bruce Belter, no, that was it. He just called you old. Or somebody
Dion,
called somebody old.
Dion, you got anything?
We've got Wendy Marie in here. She says, hey. We've got Cheryl Ann. She says, hey, guys, long time no see.
What's happening? What's up, Cheryl?
And
Wendy?
that's the only comments. No comments as far as the topic.
Okay.
But I think I wish that the NAACP was as important as it used to be. I agree with you in a sense that it would be nice for us to have black leaders like we used to back in the day. But, as a black person in this country, you watch what happened to your leaders, and ain't nobody in a hurry to take those
Yes,
shoes and put them
exactly.
on because we've all seen what happens to them. Anytime you get to a certain level, the government comes in and does what the government does, and that's that. So it kind of has to happen on a micro level before it can happen on the macro level. But Florida is no different than Vegas, or New York, or any California. All that. The only thing Florida's doing differently is they're saying the quiet part out loud. That's what they're doing. Most of the other states in the country, especially here in Indiana, where it's not a tourist destination, so they're not going to worry about tourist dollars, other than the conventions that are held downtown. This is Indianapolis is one of the biggest convention cities in the world, and a few years ago, when Mike Pence was governor, he tried to do this anti gay law or whatever. And a lot of the Comic Con conventions were like, well, we're not going to come to your state unless you change that law. And, they had a big battle about it. The comic convention hasn't come back, I don't think, or it might have came back last year or the year before, but it skipped for several years until they changed the law. So it's just the way you hit these people who think the way that they think. The tourist dollar, well, I think it will have a few people pay more attention. At the end of the day, I don't think Florida's ever going to be not red, because that's where all the old people go to expire anyway, and we all know old people don't change their minds.
I want to read this from the Tampa Bay Times, a couple of paragraphs, short paragraphs. So, guys, bear with me. Last week, DeSantis signed legislation that prohibits Florida schools from spending any state or federal funding on most programs on or campus activities that advocate for diversity and inclusion policies. Part of a slate of higher education reforms, he says, are aimed to curb so-called woke ideology on campuses. DeSantis previously signed legislation restricting workplaces and schools can discuss race and blocked an advanced placement African American studies course in the state's public schools, claiming it lacked educational value. So these things are important, excuse me, to me, Dion, and I'm sure August and other folks that you may be know, friends at work or otherwise, who look like us. And the reason
Yeah.
is because every few years, or over the last few years, we've seen, especially in Florida, there's been this concentration to erase the actual truth. No one's asking for you to pay for any past crimes that were committed against anyone. But what they are asking for is for the history to be able to be taught and to be able to taught accurately, and for all of us to be able to be on the same page. And we don't think that is a lot to request. So when you have things like this, and this is not even me getting into any issues that the LGBT community has or the Latinos will have with them at this present time either. There's obviously more that we could say on that as well. But when you're talking about things like this, where you're talking about what you can teach when it comes to race and what you can teach when it comes to slavery and and how you want to teach about slavery, as if you want to take that word completely out of the text completely, so that these kids grow up not understanding what happened. I have a problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
We all need to be on the same page when we talk about history going forward. Because if you're not, how can we sit down and have real conversations? It's hard enough as it is. But if you're going to sit here and teach different facts, if you will, alternative facts, then there's going to be no possible way for the generations coming behind us to be able to do it. Go ahead, Dion.
You said the key word, be on the same page. Hello, they're trying to rip that page out of the book. If you're not on their page, they don't want to have this conversation, because we all know where it leads to. This is a self-own in and of itself. The idea that I don't want to be woke. What does that even mean? The idea that you don't want to be quote unquote woke. How is woke a bad thing? If you slept through something important, you would be upset, right? You'd be like, why ain't nobody wake me up? Yet here we are in an
Starting up
important
good.
conversation, and they don't want to wake up. The idea is working exactly how it's designed. They're
I
trying
love
to stop people from having this conversation because they know the end game. Don't ever let a person who screams that woke is bad, or that learning history doesn't serve any educational value. That's just a load of horseshit. It's a way to cling on to power, and so that they can control whatever narrative they're trying to push. And the fact that Ron DeSantis is courting white supremacy with everything that he does is no surprise to any of us quote unquote woke people. So for me, when I get frustrated with the people who say, "Oh, I'm not racist," but and it's like, well, if you don't know any black people, you don't talk to any black people or Latinos or LGBTQ, even though that's not necessarily a race. But if you don't talk to these people, what where are you getting your understanding from? How are you making decisions on the way you feel about these things when you don't have any interactions with them? To me, it's got to come from a place of somewhere, and
Mm-hmm.
that place is the history that you've learned about these groups from the people who look like you. Is there a chance, whether it be great or small, that these people were wrong about everything you know about a group you've never interacted with?
I completely agree with you. Folks, I want to remind you, because I see we got a few more people who've joined us. Go ahead and click, if you're enjoying the show, which you should be because you come every week, click that share button, click that share button. Excuse me.
I'd like to add something when you get a chance.
Oh, please, August, add.
Okay, so now this is all DeSantis's thing, and so a lot of mayors and different people within Florida have spoken out against him. Uh, Dion, what was so funny? What happened?
No, we're listening.
Now
Go ahead.
here,
Go ahead, girl.
all right. Dan Gelber, the mayor of Miami Beach, he told the Herald that Florida legislative agenda is intentionally offensive to people of color and the LGBTQ community. He said it feels like we have all become unwilling props for Governor DeSantis's imminent primary bid. But it should be very obvious that not all communities agree with this agenda, especially mine. And that's Ken Welsh of St. Petersburg, Florida, pretty much said the same thing, along with the mayor of Miami-Dade, Daniela Cava. So no one really agrees with this man. They're just part of this mess.
And you make a great point there, August, as well, because Ron DeSantis has started to lose some type of sway in Florida. Some of his donors who were there with him in the beginning have kind of started to pull back. And the mayor of Jacksonville, the new mayor, is a Democrat, which was a real big kick in the ass for him because he was pushing for the Republican there. So you make some good points when you talk about some of the communities, if you go community by community. Now, there are some there that are backing some of this nonsense, no doubt. But thank you for letting us know about that, August.
Okay.
Any comments out there?
Yes. So Bruce Belcher said, expanding on Dion's
I
comment, they
love that.
only make.
I hold on. I love that you got a different way to say Bruce's last name every time you talk
Well, what
about
is it? Bolter, Belter, just
this.
Bruce.
This time you said Belcher. It's
No, I think I
Bolter.
said Belter. I
It's
said
Bolter.
Oh,
It's
Bolter.
Bolter. Yeah, it's Bolter. Go
Well,
ahead though.
spell it right.
Go
That ain't
ahead.
how you spell it.
Go ahead.
Lord have mercy.
Whatever. Leave me alone, Dion. All right. Hey, Bruce said, expanding on Dion's comment, they only make a move or comment when it comes to political sides. Uh,
True.
Danielle Marie agrees with Dion. She said facts. Larry Skiggins says, "What happened to Florida? Obama won it twice."
I want to
Hey,
start right
Slim.
there. I want to
Slim
start
says
right
hi.
there. I want to start right there.
Okay.
Larry, good question. Dion, any thoughts on what happened to Florida? To me, I would like to say that they started to skew the old voting blocks there so that they can start to win a few more elections in there since Obama.
What happened after Obama?
That's what we're talking about.
That's the question you need to
Right,
ask.
right.
That's what you okay. So you saw what happened after Obama. The orange guy came in and said it's okay to be what you feel in your heart. People hated Hillary. He says, trust me, and they've fallen for the shenanigans. Florida is literally a cult state. When you listen to those people talk about their dear leader and how much they love him and how much he drains the swamp and how QAnon's got all the facts and he's still running the country even though he's not in the White House. Like if you just listen to the Florida Trump voters, these people are happy to be out of the closet finally. They feel like they should have never went in. They were never happy with Obama. It wasn't like Obama dominated Florida. It was a relatively close race. And so
It is different because I was stationed in Florida years ago, and I remember when I was there, I would meet people who were from Florida originally, and they would say, "Hey, we're not part of the South. That's them. That's what they do." They say, like they used to really think they were not like Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky. Like they thought they
Mhm.
should have been a part actual of the North, and to see that jump from that to this is absolutely crazy to me. To see that they swayed that far from left to right. That crazy to me.
I don't. It's to me. It's not. It wasn't. It wasn't a huge leap. Like it. They've always been there. It's just Obama offered hope, and they were like, let me see what this hope is about." Tasted it, didn't like it, and wanted to go back to the way things used to be.
Well, I think you do have a lot of gerrymandering that happened there as well as some other states, and I think that helped them as well. August, we had any more comments that we can go to real quick before we?
Yes, we do. So Danielle Marie says, "You know what would make Florida better if all the decent people left and then it just fell into the ocean." Sli- Slim Slim said they took the term or word woke and demonized it or made it into something that it didn't start off as, just to have folks turn against being woke. Now, Bruce says you're going to have the mayors in every state that will never back the governor's decision. And
And
Tara Shakespeare just entered the group. She said true on
what's
all
up, Tara?
that.
What's up, Tara? Tara is one of the most talented people we have in Phoenix. If you
La,
have
la, la,
not
la.
had a chance to see her get on stage and be funny or
Yes.
sing, you are missing out. If you are in AZ, find Tara Shakespeare. Super, super
Yes.
dope, super talented. Thank you for jumping in, Tara.
Hey there.
To Charles's comment, you are absolutely correct when you talk about taking a word or taking a phrase and running with it. Dion and I have
Mm-hmm.
talked about this before. When you talk about anything that you want, if you're a minority group, and talk about how you want to speak about it, how you want to move forward with it, you have to be very careful because the other side will take it and demonize it, twist it, turn it any which way that they can. I remember when we talked about defund the police, that phrase, and the Democrats used that as if that was their lifelong slogan. They got killed because of it. Because you still have people who are liberal or Democrats, African American people, brown people, who still want protection from the police. So even a lot of them do not want to defund the police. But they allowed the Republicans to take that and hang that around their neck like it was a weight and push them off a boat into the ocean and drown with it. You have to be very, very careful with it. I saw you nodding, Dion. You agree with me on that?
Well, yeah, woke is to white people what nigga is to niggas. So it was their word. We took it, we changed its meaning, and now they can't say it. Now they done took woke, changed the meaning, and now we can't say it because the second we say it, and you say it to somebody over there, but tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah, I say
They're
you
like,
They
wrong.
literally did. They did. They did to woke what we did to nigga, and it's
they
just
smacked
one
it
of
up,
those.
flipped it.
They flip and turned it on. You can't say it now. It's a taboo word. People say, "Oh, you woke? Who you calling woke, motherfucker? I ain't woke." You know what I mean? It's one of those.
It was fighting
So
words.
it's it's funny because I wasn't there when nigga got turned into a positive, but I was there when woke got turned into a negative. And I'm like, oh, that's how the motherfuckers did it. It's it's fascinating to watch a word change in real time from one day being like, "Ooh, I'm so happy I'm woke," and that song came out, "Stay woke." And you play that shit down, and like, hey, we ain't doing no woke shit around here. And it's like, whoa, this used to be a good thing. Where white people were like, oh, that's a bad word. Why do y'all get to say it so much? It's like, no, it's cool now.
I don't care if you white, black, red, or anything. The thing that I can never get my mind wrapped around is we are a country that spends a lot of money going to see shrinks. And we talk about mental awareness, mental health on this show, and Dion and I both are fully behind it. Do it if
Mm-hmm.
that's what you feel like you need to get done. But we are a country of people who cannot forget about what their mothers and fathers did to them to the point that it follows us all the way through our entire life. And you would say, this is the reason why I make all of the decisions I make now in my 30s and 40s. And then you will turn right around and say, but forget about that other shit when it comes to anyone else. I can never get my head wrapped around it. If your past matters enough for you to spend money, 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 money to a shrink once a week so that you can get clear of it and so someone can understand you and understand what happened to you and understand why you were mistreated and so on and so on, I don't know why you can't get your mind wrapped around why other people need the same thing in their life. And that's all people are asking for. That is it. Plain simple. It doesn't get much more difficult than that. Yeah, look.
But that's the point. Is you are a human being. They don't see us as human. That's the root of white supremacy. This whole argument is
Hey, hey,
basically
hey,
about
hey, watch out for Marjorie. You heard what she said. That's the same as the N word. Be careful with that white supremacy word.
exactly. It's literally this. It's literally the same thing. It's white supremacy is the root of all this issue of they don't want to be replaced. They don't want to share. They don't want to be equal because they understand what equal means. Equal means they got to take their turn in the mud. They know how much that mud sucked because they put a lot of people in it and they got to watch and witness. It's not like they weren't around when the shit was happening.
Mm-hmm.
People are aware. And so when you offer up, hey, it might be your turn because you love equality so much, they're like, wait a minute, motherfucker, I don't want no goddamn equality. We've always been equal. It's like they don't want to take their turn. And to me, that's what I've been. The difference between equity and equality is we want equity. We're not trying to enslave white people. We're not trying to make white people feel bad. But if you think that's what it means, then goddamn it, go take your turn.
Well, I've said it. I want to flip the conversation to this, but I've said it before. black people are some of the most trusting, loving, and forgiving people.
Hmm.
And the mere fact that any other group of people would think that the minute we get a chance to get equal, or hell, God forbid, get on top, we're going to do the worst thing imaginable to you, only speaks to what you know to be in your heart to be true about what you believe, what you speak, and the history that exists. To me, that's proof of positive of all of those things. I do think we are going to see some headway made because Disney is talking about pulling $1 billion off of the table from Florida, and is ready to see where Ron DeSantis is ready to go and push that envelope. Dion, I think that could be something that makes that whole that Ron DeSantis engine kind of slow down when we are looking at what they're trying to do in terms of stopping diversity. You don't think so?
No, man, that dude who choked out the black guy in New York got $2 million. White people going white people.
Funded the GoFundMe. Yes,
Okay,
there's some
okay.
more comments coming in too.
We would love to hear them. What you got, August?
All right. Tara Shakespeare said, "True to everything, facts everything." The word woke died in 2018. She also says, "All black folks want is for white people to treat them like the white people they don't like."
Terry, you said we'll take that. That's it. That's all we want.
Oh, my. Royce Bellamy said, "Is that guilt?" And then Tara Shakespeare also says, "Black folks are too creative for that kind of vengeance." And Royce Bellamy, I think he was responding to Tara's other comment, says they already did.
All
So,
right, all right. Thank you guys for jumping in. Let's go ahead and flip this conversation to our next topic. Another one that I was interested in hearing what you guys think about. So keep the comments coming. You guys are going to see soon. I'm going to scroll at the bottom the website that you can go to and become a patron of the Patreon. We would love for you guys to do that. There is an option, a $1 a month option, so you guys can jump on that. We would love it. And if you can't afford to do it right now, I completely get it. But doesn't mean I'm not going to stop asking and stop pushing it. Your dollars do go to help this show and other projects as well that are taking place in 2023 and beyond. August, what we got for the next topic?
okay, here we go.
Wait a minute, wait a minute,
Uber.
wait a minute. Can you read Royce's last comment real quick?
Oh, no. Let me get back to it. Why you say the whole government name? Well, what's that's what
so,
is that?
so, you know what I
What?
love? I love that he says that you outed him as if his name isn't right
That's what
there.
I'm saying. I was like, what are you talking about? Mama call him Clay. I'ma call him Clay. All right.
Go ahead, August.
Whatever city. Okay, so
You
here
got a
is
deep
the
ass
next
laugh.
topic. Uber and their diversity training or lack thereof. I believe this has something to do with is this the diversity chief put on leave?
I think you are correct. I think you are correct. They did a little training that they titled "Don't Call Me Karen," and
Mm,
so they got a little
that's what I see.
they got a little heat from it. I would have this when I saw this one, I sent this one to Dion, and it was only a matter of minutes before I got reply back. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a good one. So what's your thoughts, Dion?
So basically, this Uber diversity director thought it'd be a good idea to bring all the colored people in, and white folks could air their grievances about how they feel about things that colored folk take offense to when it comes to call being Karen and whatnot. And God bless her, her heart was in the right place, but the execution was piss poor. And if you get to be in charge at a large company like Uber, there's got to be a certain level of maybe I should do this or maybe I should do it a different way. Her execution of this plan was absolutely terrible. She wanted to have a diversity talk with all of the workers there at Uber, and basically it turned into white people telling black people, we don't like the way y'all talk to us and we're not as bad as you think we are. You should be ashamed for even thinking the way you think and feeling the way you feel because that's not who we are as people. Now go think about it and we'll see you at the next conference. Like, I wish people who aggrieve other people would listen to the people they have aggrieved their grievances. Like, if you were really listening to what people are asking from you, that would be enough. Just hear what I'm telling you, listen to what I'm telling you, and then reflect on that as an individual. I hear people say all the time, well, I'm not racist. I'm like, okay, but do you know what that actually means? Because it doesn't mean what you think it means. Most people think racism is just saying, I hate niggas, or I hate white folk, or I hate this, I hate that. That's not, that's the very smallest part of racism that's easily identifiable. But the idea behind the hatred that you have for somebody who doesn't look like you is what we need to tackle. The idea of why people feel the way they feel about certain groups, whether it be gay, whether it be black, whether it be white, Latino, Asian, Indian, whatever. The idea that they are less than because they are not you is the issue that we should tackle. And every time you try to have that conversation with somebody who don't look like you and they're stuck in their ways, you run into this defensive wall of, oh, you're attacking me, you're attacking me. I'm like, I'm not attacking you. I'm attacking the idea of you. You present to be this person that you're not. And then when I confront you on that, that's when you have an issue with me.
This is
I'm going
another
through something
example.
else.
What's that? We say August?
No, so I was about to say I'm pulling up the article for you guys.
This is another proof positive example that there's no one of color, specifically black, in these rooms, or maybe Bo Young Lee, who is the C-suite individual who was suspended, has anyone around her who is of
What?
color either. Because the mere fact that you could present this and then get the responses that you got from some of your drivers and then turn around and chastise them in the next session is just again another example. This isn't really something that you are trying to promote, equality or anything else. This was what it was when it's titled "Don't Call Me Karen." This is something that someone of Caucasian women have a gripe with, and you thought you should sympathize with them, and we need to have a sit down and chastise people of a lower level and explain to them why you're wrong. That's not how you go about this. That is not diversity. Diversity has
No.
nothing to do with saying, let me teach you how you need to talk to those who are up here. That's not diversity. And it has nothing to do with it. And how Uber would even miss the boat like this. Sometimes it's as if someone just pulled this out of their ass, threw it up on a dry erase board, and everyone just quietly walked past it and just nodded, and there was no real conversation about it. And then when it blows up in everyone's faces, they're completely surprised by it. The fact that there's not more thought does not surprise me, but it still upsets me at the same time, Dion.
I mean, you're older than I am. You've been in this country longer than me.
How dare you? How
I'm
dare you?
not. I don't understand. I don't understand how you can be shocked. I don't. To me, I'm never shocked when I see stupid shit like this happen because these people literally do not want to understand what they're doing. They never ask themselves, why are these people calling us Karens? They never ask that question. They never seek the answers that they swear up and down they want. Because the moment that you give it to them, it feels like a punch in the stomach. And these people cannot handle the wordage of it's not even the change of behavior that they're tackling. This is I don't even like these words that you're saying to me. And you keep asking, well, how do we have these conversations? I cannot placate you in a conversation if I have to dance around your emotional well being. If me telling
Mm-hmm.
you what you're doing to me affects you in a way that you can't even communicate with me, then I'm fucked. And that's the most frustrating thing about this whole situation, whether it be going to Florida or Uber in this case, having these meetings where we need to talk about how we talk to each other. You can't have a conversation with someone who is not emotionally strong enough to get past the initial shock of the word Karen or nigga or whatever. If I can't talk to you on a level of understanding, then we're never going to be at a place to where we can to have a real dialogue.
And that's a great point
And
you make. Go ahead.
it's the
Go ahead.
fragility. If I could fit, it's the fragility that really irritates me. Is because we're in
Yeah.
2023 and we should be past this fragility of having a real conversation, where I should be able to say, "Yo, a lot of the things you do is some bullshit," and then you hear
Yeah.
that and go, "I can't believe you swore at me." Like, get past that part. Did you
Everybody
hear
is
what I said
soft.
about the way you treated me?
Well, and you know you make a good point because in any relationship, whether we're talking about something like this or we're talking about romantic or we're talking about siblings or just you dealing with shit between you and your parents, it is about having an actual open dialogue on both sides. Whether you agree or are going to like what is said, this needs to be done. And you're right. If this is going to be about you telling me from up here on high about what I call you, and I shouldn't call you that, and I'm wrong, and or mistaken, however you want to put it, then we're already off on the wrong foot, and this isn't a real conversation, because this is just you telling me, and God forbid I say anything else, because it's not going to reach you up in that ivory tower. You're not going to let it. August, any comments there at
Yes.
all?
Yes. So Tara Shakespeare says they're trying to teach poor whites driving sensitivity. Poor whites don't give a damn about the niggas. Royce Bellamy said, "I'm not racist, but I'm prejudiced as hell." And I am there. I am there with him. We are in the same boat, Royce. I got man. Tara Shakespeare says, "Lyft is ghetto, but I'd ride with them before Uber."
Well, Lyft
And
is ghetto as hell.
no, it's not. I used to
Yeah,
drive
yeah,
for Lyft.
yeah. They'll let anybody drive you around. And if a motherfucker with a hay wagon pull up and ask you if you want to ride, it has a Lyft sticker on it. Don't be surprised.
Look. So
August,
and then she
go ahead.
oh go ahead.
Go ahead. Go
She
ahead.
also said Dion is shooting shots. And then Royce, we have a few more comments. Royce says it's not that they don't understand, they just lack understanding. Oh, it's not that they don't understand, they lack understanding. And then
Royce, let me give me your bumper tickers talk, man.
I know. And then Tara says these folks know exactly what the hell they're doing. It's almost like they're putting on blackface. Like you know that you shouldn't be using blackface or doing blackface, but they do it anyways.
August, I don't know
It's
why
just
you can
like
never
that.
say it in front of the camera, but
Because I'm trying to read in this light.
I,
I just don't want to mess up my light.
tell, tell me why you say that you agree with what Royce said in terms of you're not racist,
Oh,
but you're
you're not racist.
prejudiced. Yeah.
Oh, I have several prejudices, but I will never air them on
I didn't ask you to
here.
list them. I just asked you why are you that way?
I don't know. Well, I do know why. Because I just think there's a certain way you should carry yourself. You should have some decorum. And there's certain things I do not want to be around. I don't want to see. I don't want to smell. There's just certain, and it's not even a race. It's just, it could be from every race. There's a person in almost every race where I'm like this. So it's definitely a prejudice of mine that there's just, I just,
I'm looking at
I don't even know how to explain it.
I'm looking at Dion's face. Dion, you have a retort or anything that you want to
He
say?
has prejudice against people with green hair that are
Take
40 years old. See?
take it easy, player. Let Dion say what he's got to say. Dion, what you got to say?
I don't have prejudice.
This
I
is
have a I have a preference.
just
I
attack my
prefer
man for no reason.
I have a preference of people over the age of 40 having a certain color of hair. If it's green, I don't want to hear what you're talking about. You don't got nothing to say to me.
Is that
Good,
what
bad, wrong, indifferent.
is
That
that what you were going to
so
say on the tail end of what she was saying?
no, I to me to me there's the place of prejudice, whether it be, you don't like short people for whatever reason, or you don't like tall people for whatever reason. The most important thing about prejudice is, where does it come from? And a lot of these prejudices that are breeded within all the communities comes from a place of not understanding the person that you're prejudiced against. When I was younger, I had a huge disdain for gay people. I didn't know any of them, but it was what I was taught, is what I was told, and it wasn't something that I had the wherewithal to even question. People that I loved and respected said you should treat gay people in a certain way, and as a younger person, I didn't question that. It wasn't until I met an actual gay person and had a real conversation with them on a day-to-day basis that I realized all these prejudices that I had are not based on anything other than misunderstandings and ignorance. So when you can wipe all that away, and you can learn people for who they really are, it makes understanding that much easier. But that to me is the biggest challenge is most people don't question where they got their prejudices from, where they got their misunderstandings from. There are some cases where people have legitimate reasons to not like other people. Like if you got jumped by a group of niggas when you was a kid, I could understand why you don't like black people. That would make sense to me. If I got jumped by a bunch of white folk, you would understand why I was leery of white folk. Like it makes sense. But a lot of the times those aren't the cases and people just don't question why they have the belief that they do.
And to your point, I would say this: there's been a lot of people I've known over the years who have who are racist or prejudiced, and obviously a lot of that is taught. But in a lot of those instances, those people have never even been in contact with those people that they don't like ever. They've never met a black person. They've never been close to a black person. Everything they know about black people are from the television. Just like I've been around black people from the South who've never been close to or around white people because they just choose not to, and everything they know is based off what they were taught or what they've seen on television. You know, I dated I dated women from the South who thought that white people smelled a certain way when they get wet, which is not even true. But this is what they were
Oh,
taught. This is the most dumb things I've ever like. I've never. I would just be blown away by what I would hear from people when I was growing up and meeting people from different parts of the country. And you hear a lot of stuff if you're in the military. You learn a lot of this stuff because you meet people from every fucking walk of life. And I was just fascinated. I'm just
I,
completely fascinated.
I gotta say, it's so funny because you talk about that. I used to think light skinned guys smelled like cheese because this guy named Ryan I went to church with, he was like 6 or 7 years old and he always smelled like cheese. So I associated light skinned people with cheese and it was terrible.
Jesus fucking Christ. That boy Ryan must be from the moon.
But Ryan needed a bath. That wasn't cheese. That was
So
funk he was
I had a
smelling.
prejudice against light skinned people.
Uh,
Smell like cheese.
can we go to the comments? Go to the comments, please. Jesus.
All right. So Tara says, at this point, I just rather the racists reveal their identity. Bruce says, not a lot of folks can have the agree to disagree conversation anymore. You need to respect others' opinions.
Agree.
And Tara said, Dion is sick of us all.
No,
And
just August.
no, really.
I did you say Bruce said that we need to have the agree to disagree conversation?
He said folks, a lot of folks cannot have the agree to disagree conversations anymore. That's what he
And
said.
then what was the one about opinions? The one
You
after
need to
that?
respect others' opinions. That was still Bruce.
Okay,
All
so
right.
to Bruce, I say, if your opinion is based in reality, I will respect it. But if you have a opinion that's not based in reality, I don't want to hear that shit. Keep that stupid opinion to yourself. The idea that every opinion is valid is incorrect because we know that for a fact to be true. If your opinion on, oh, the best way to cross this bridge is by shooting ourselves in the foot, I don't want to hear that opinion. I'm not going to respect that opinion. That opinion is not valid because it literally makes no sense in reality. So this idea that every opinion matters, no, the fuck it doesn't. It never has and it never should. In a rational society, if you have an opinion that doesn't add anything to the conversation, then why the fuck are you talking? Why are we letting you talk? It makes no sense. We do it to kids all the time when they say they want to have ice cream for dinner. No, you don't get to have ice cream for dinner. You know why? Because it doesn't make any sense. It's not healthy for you. You're going to be up all night. You got school in the morning. I'm not going to let you have ice cream. But the fact that we're adults talking to each other like, oh, we should allow this person to say stuff. No, the fuck, we should not. We
See,
shouldn't.
well, you and I always have this debate, and we always disagree on it, and we're gonna disagree on it again. I don't care what opinion you have, as long as you're gonna be open-minded enough to hear reasonable ones. So yes, if you tell me the best way to cross that bridge, what was it? What was the example you said, Dia?
Shoot by shooting yourself in the foot.
By shooting yourself in the foot, fine. If that's what you're bringing to the table, fine. But if you insist to not listen to reasons why that is not a good idea, then we can't have this conversation. Because here's the reason. Here's the reason. You may not be coming to the conversation with the same knowledge, the same background that I or someone else in this conversation has. So If you're walking in it with something that sounds completely silly, all right, I'll listen to that because that's where you're coming from. People can only argue from their own viewpoint that they know, and some
Mm-hmm.
people have not
I'm
been
not
able.
disagreeing with that.
Okay,
What I'm saying is,
so
okay, go ahead.
so so it may be silly, but as long as you can be reasoned with and have a reasonable conversation. Now, if you can't, then I'm with you. We can't talk. If you're gonna sit here and keep telling me shooting yourself in the foot is the only way to get across this bridge, well, I'm gonna give you all the bullets. Let you figure this out.
But you do have that conversation. You watch these people get interviewed at rallies and
You
you
do.
hear the things they say and you're
Oh
like,
yes.
what the fuck are you? This is why you should not be allowed to talk to these people, because an idiot spreads an idea that's not based in reality, and they use the defense, oh, you're not respecting my opinion. Of course I'm not. Your opinion's not based in reality. Therefore, it is not valid. If you don't bring a valid opinion, something based in reality, you're just talking out of your ass. And you can go do that somewhere else. In a productive conversation and a productive society, there is no place for people with ideas and opinions that don't matter, that don't make sense, and that don't help people. If you're one of those people who swears that there's Jewish space lasers that are setting fires in California, your opinion on what we should be doing as a country is by definition invalid because you have an idea based in nonsense. It's
I
not reality. I
and
can't have a conversation with you. I
you
can't
can't.
I can't reason with you. Therefore, that's why your opinion is being rejected, because you didn't start at the bridge
I
conversation.
I
You
I
started from let's put bullets in ourselves and make it across this bridge. I can't do that.
August, are you already over there?
I'm okay. I don't know what's going on with my screen.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Just want to make sure that we still have audio with you.
Yeah.
Let's get to some more comments, and then we're going to go ahead and Dion and I are going to reveal our two comics here after we go through these comics here. What we got?
All right. Let's see. What does it say? Melly Tion says, hello, Royce Bellamy. I think he's responding to what I said, that they smell like mayonnaise. And then Tara said, they all don't smell like bologna. Sorry, that's talking about light skin guys. Opinions are like wiping your ass before you shit. That is from Royce again. Lotus says, hello.
What's up, Lotus?
Bruce said, I listened to Tony talk about the earth being flat all the time. I respected it even though I knew it was crap. And then Chelsea responded to Bruce, I love flat earthers. They are so good at storytelling.
All right. Um, so thank you guys for sitting in on this conversation.
Can
The
I
comments
can I
been the comments been fun today. Go ahead.
before we move on? Can I ask you, what legitimate purpose does it serve to acknowledge someone's opinion that you know for a fact isn't based in reality? What purpose does that serve?
Well, the purpose to me is one. I do not want anyone to legitimately be able to walk away and say, no, they're ignoring me. No one's letting me have my opinion. No one's allowing me to voice it. Nobody's anything. No, everyone gets a shot at voicing it. Two, the second thing is you never know who you may be able to turn at any point in given time, given the opportunity. So those are my two top reasons for having these conversations. And I've had these conversations with people. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and have it with you all night. I ain't going to sit here and waste my whole day. I'm a pretty smart guy. So I can figure out that you going to come with this argument and you have no intentions of even listening to anything that's reasonable, or hell, it doesn't have to be reasonable. If you want to say that, hey, the best way to cross this bridge is to shoot yourself in the left foot, and I want to say, hey, no, the best way to cross that bridge is to shoot yourself in the right foot. If you're not even willing to listen to my shoot yourself in the right foot theory, then I'm not interested in having this conversation with you. Because again, going back to what Bruce was saying, things and to what we say, you got to sit down. Have to have these conversations. Don't have to force yourself to have it, but you at least have to make the attempt.
That's not a conversation. If you talk to someone who's not based in reality, you're not talking to a person. You're
Then
talking
you,
to an idea that isn't like there is
I didn't
nothing
say you can't
good.
move on, Dion. I didn't say you can't move away from it and move on from the conversation.
Right. But what I'm saying is it doesn't matter if you start the conversation at flat earth or you end the conversation at flat earth. If you come to the conversation with something that isn't based in reality, you're wasting not only my time, but yours. The opinion that you formed isn't a valid opinion. It's nonsense. And that's where I want people to understand what I'm saying. An opinion is we should cross the bridge by horse. The opinion we should shoot ourselves in the foot and cross this bridge is that's not a valid opinion
Okay. All right.
on
Never
any spectrum.
didn't say it was a
You
valid
shouldn't be
opinion.
having that conversation.
No.
Period.
Well,
Anybody who
I
comes to the
disagree with you.
conversation,
Period. I disagree with you. Period.
anybody who comes to the conversation talking about let's shoot ourselves in the foot and cross this bridge
See
is
how we're
not
having this.
someone you should be talking to.
See how we have this
Period.
conversation every time it comes up, and we always disagree. Yet I still have it with you.
Because you're wrong.
No, you're wrong.
And you don't want to listen. You keep
Oh my
trying to
You
God.
shoot
never listen.
yourself in the foot.
You
And
never
I'm like,
listen.
Sydney, that is not a productive way to have a
You
conversation.
know what? I think the best way for us to cross this bridge is for me to shoot you in both of your feet.
I, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen is I'm gonna be standing there. You're gonna walk halfway to the bridge. I'm gonna blow that bitch up and be like, I told your ass we should have shot ourselves in the
Yo,
foot. Now
crying,
you
limping
wishing you had feet.
ass.
You're gonna be mad you don't have feet no more.
All right, let's get to some more comments before we go ahead and reveal our top two comics here.
All right, can you hear me okay? Just don't turn the camera on. It's still acting crazy.
No, you sound completely terrible. I'm gonna read these comments. You
Do I?
sound, yes, you
What the
sound
heck?
terrible. A lot of static. Um, Chelsea says Bruce Bolter. I love. Okay, you already read that one. Facebook user says I feel Dion. It's like the story of the tiger and donkey arguing over the color of grass. I'm not wasting time talking to a fool. Eric Emmons, what's up, Eric? Good to see you, brother. He says
That
you
was
can't.
Cedric, by the way.
Oh, that was Cedric. Cedric, what's up, bro? Thank you for joining us and staying with us. Eric Emmons went to high school with him. Thanks for jumping in, bro. He says you can't fix stupid, brother. Facebook user says, if you tell me the green grass I'm looking at is blue, we not having a convo, period. I'm assuming that's Cedric again.
Yep.
And then Lotus says, I just walked into a flat earth convo. LMAO, oh Lord. And he says, I love y'all, so worth it, LOL. Thank you, Lotus. Good to see you at the birthday party, too, over the weekend. So those are our comments there. Dion, anything on your end, comment-wise?
Oh, it works now.
Let's see.
I see you now.
Cheryl
Okay.
said history needs to be taught and accurately. Why hide the truth of the past? That was about the other conversation. She also says, I think everyone should take the time to get to know others. We are all God's creations and deserve respect and love. To which I would say, I don't know about that.
Oh, wow.
Thank you guys. We appreciate you. Let's go ahead before we get to our last segment. Before in the group, if you're in the group, I threw up a list of comics, and I thought this was kind of cool. And this one came from Matt Wood, my boy Matt Wood. He says, you're getting roasted, and you can only call two of them to come help. Who are you calling? And the list of comics, for those of you who have not seen it, was Mike Epps, D.L. Hughley, Cat Williams, Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence, Ricky Smiley, Dave Chappelle, Bernie Mac, and Kevin Hart. You can only pick two. Dion and I say we reveal our two on the show. Dion, what two are you calling? I'm interested to see if your two is the same as my two.
So I'm thinking of in their primes, correct? Because there's certain people I wouldn't call right now, but
Yeah,
20 years ago,
I'm thinking in
I'd
your
have
prime.
called them.
I'm thinking in your
Okay.
prime.
So my first pick would be Martin because what he did on Def Jam is some of the best roasting I've ever seen. So I would definitely take Martin in his prime. He was quick, he was clever, and hilarious. And then my second pick, this is there's only one person on the list who I wouldn't pick. Well, that's not true. There's two people on the list I wouldn't pick.
Well, who are you picking?
So my second pick, I probably have to go with Cat Williams, Martin and
Oh,
Cat
yeah.
Williams, and it's tough for me because I love Bernie Mac. Don't get me wrong, but if there's a comic on this list who I'd pick over, or who's not on this list who I'd pick over everybody, and that would have been Patrice O'Neal because to
Thank
me
you.
he's probably
Oh,
the goat of all time of just slamming people.
I don't know. You got to think about. Damn it, he came and he just went just that fast. Baby kids.
Robin Harris, I was
Robin
thinking him
Robin
too.
Harris.
Robert
Yeah,
Harris. My two, I want y'all to know, everyone who picked earlier today, I appreciate you guys for picking. Deanna, appreciate you for picking. I see people jumping on right now. Lotus just said she going to pick Martin and Cat. Mary says Bernie Mac is neck and neck with Kevin Hart. She said, I want Eddie Murphy and Kevin Hart. Marissa
No.
says Bernie. Facebook user, I'm assuming that's Say It Again, says DL and Martin for roasting. And Dolores says, that's why you're amazing, Dion. Lotus,
Yay.
you're wrong on a couple different fronts. At the
hate,
top.
hate, 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 hate.
I gotta get that. I gotta get that one as a drop. I gotta find that. My two is gonna crush everybody because I can't believe no one picked these two people. This is the easiest thing ever. It's gonna be D.L. Hughley and Bernie Mac. Easily,
Yeah.
that's the two you pick. Easily. How do you? And so many people didn't even pick D.L. Hughley. I don't know
I
how
would
you.
say
Are you not familiar with this man's career? Are you not?
exactly.
And then Bernie Mac is going to coming back clean up and destroy whoever is still standing. That's the two comics you pick to come here. Those are your two big brothers. When they pick on you at school, you tell them motherfuckers, you wait right here. I'm going to get my brothers. And then you run home and you get big brother DL and you get big brother Bernie Mac and they come back and they roast you, they roast your mama. See, those are the kind of motherfuckers right there. If you grew up in the
Yeah.
hood at all, you know you got family members that don't give a shit about your grandmama. They will come over and dead all of you. And that's going to be D.L. Hughley and Bernie Mac. Done, done, done. Good night, go home.
Oh my God.
Those are your two.
I'm look, I'm not mad at you. You make some very valid points, but my only rebuttal is Cat and Mark can do the same thing. They can do
No,
but
no,
I
no.
say
only difference
Cat
is
and
the
DL.
only
My things
difference
were Cat
is
and DL.
the
Oh,
only difference is Martin and Cat are smaller than Bernie and Dio. So you would go get your bigger brother. You go get your little brother. Let me go get my little
Yeah.
brother.
Cat and
Which is
DL.
completely embarrassing. Look, so, wait a minute. My man Eric says kiss ass. Eric, are you calling me a kiss
What?
ass? What we saying, bro? I just gave you some
He
love,
said
man.
he said kick ass.
See, that's why. This is
See,
why.
you can't read.
Mm,
See, you let her read. Can't
mm,
read.
mm,
That's why August is
Should
reading the
not read that.
comments
Got
like
all them glasses, can't see shit.
He getting all mad. Put your glasses on. Ain't that what you tell me? We get your glasses on.
why don't you
Hey
get your
Alexa, read Sydney's comments.
August? What the hell you laughing at? Why don't you get your Diana Ross hair out the camera? That's what
It ain't Diana Ross. It is Ola Ray today. Thank you
that's what
very
was
much.
screwing up your damn reception over there.
It was the light.
And all that activator got the
All
goddamn
right.
microphone.
Oh, I'm glad y'all think it's funny.
I'm gonna,
Okay.
I'm gonna bring August back up so people who are watching or just jumping there who hadn't seen you can know exactly what we're talking
Oh, they
about.
can see. They can
Uh,
see. Look.
Let your soul glow.
It's a Jerry Curl ponytail.
That's the
Just
most
feeling oh so silky smooth.
people right
I
now.
can't be no slave, Snooky.
Y'all get on my nerves. You lucky I love y'all.
Dion, I just threw August up. Somebody said, "Is that the motherfucker who dated the oldest daughter and coming to America?"
Look, I'll take it off. God dang.
These two motherfuckers dug up Aaron Excel from somewhere.
Yes, I was like, it's my little Jerry Curl ponytail.
Over
I
there
was
looking
So
like
cute.
Lisa dumped me.
Damn you, Eric. Damn you, Eric. Words are small. Facebook user, I'm assuming this is said, he started singing it too. He said she letting her soul glow.
Oh my soul is glowing, honey. Thank you.
Dion,
Now.
Dion, I
What come?
believe these children are the future.
Teach them
Paris.
well. And
Let them lead the way. That's
What,
what I
what was
say.
it? What was his
Father,
name? Chocolate. What was it?
Randy
sexual
Watson.
chocolate.
Randy
Randy
Watson.
Watson.
Sexual
Randy
chocolate.
Watson.
He
That is
dropped-
my favorite movie next to Wreck.
when he dropped the mic.
Yeah.
That was her hair earlier, crackling on the microphone.
You know what? This show with me shit. Okay? Y'all lucky I'm on this.
No, ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. Since when you start tripping,
You know that's where I got it from.
when you start tripping, oh my god.
Look, I was just trying to cover up my that thing, but it ain't working, so it don't even matter now.
It's all right. It's all right. All right. Well, we go get
That's
out
the
of here,
eyeball.
folks. Thank you guys for watching the show.
Are we not doing a what the hell?
I'm getting ready to say it. We're about to get out of here on our last segment. What the hell, Dion? What is your what the hell this week?
My what the hell is y'all, all these fast food restaurants asking me to round up and donate to charities and what? No, Look, motherfuckers. If y'all ask me for another goddamn March of Dime when I go to Wendy's or Taco Bell to round up for some raggedy ass organization that y'all not giving the motherfucking money to, you ain't trying to round down my bill when it's 9.89. You don't round down to 9.50. So why the fuck do I want to round up 11 cents for some raggedy ass kid? What is 11 cents gonna do to the Girl Scouts? They're not coming to collect this money. That's more paperwork for them. The motherfucking person at the register is pocketing that shit. Stop asking me to round up. Start rounding down, motherfuckers. Your prices is too goddamn high, and I'm sick of that shit.
I love that you said for these funky ass kids.
Sick of these. They be guilt tripping the shit out your ass. You want to donate an extra 5 cents to the raggedy ass
Uh,
motherfuckers of America? No, I'm trying to eat, not think about poverty stricken, measles having motherfuckers.
oh
Look,
my
I'm with
gosh.
you
He didn't have
because
kids.
I'm like, motherfucker, I just ordered off the 99 what to make you think I got extra cash, but anyway,
Oh, that's funny.
I laughed because my shit was gonna be about a restaurant as well. I said we went out to dinner for Marissa's birthday. Had a nice time. Food was delicious. Probably would never go there again. And the reason was this: we were about a party of 10.
This nigga just said I had a great time, never going back.
I'm not going back. You guys know me. Not going back. Let me tell you why. We had a party of 10. Now, for years, restaurants are trying to be fucking sneaky with how they want to take credit cards and what they going to do and what they won't do and how many people, and you're going to automatically tax gratuity, add gratuity rather, right away. Look, I have allowed all of that and not said a word. This is where I draw the line. You got a table of 10 and you going to tell people for large groups, we would not take more than 2 or 3 credit cards to split the tab up. So now you are telling people how much they are going to pay. Go fuck yourself. So I don't even know when the tab came, but I knew the tab was there because there was one couple sitting there at the table and they were counting out cash. Now, when the last time you see anybody count out cash? So that was the first thing, like, why these motherfuckers counting out cash? Just throw your plastic down. Well, I believe they knew the policy, which I was not privy to. And so I asked the waiter, I said, I heard this stupid ass rumor, I believe that's how I phrased it, that you guys would not allow more than 2 or 3 credit cards for large groups. And he started to humming. Because if you know me, you know I'm going to cross-examine the shit out of you. So whatever you say to me, you better be correct because I'm asking follow-up questions. And so he was a
Okay.
humming. He said, well, I can go get a manager. I said, yeah, why don't you go get that motherfucker so they can answer these questions too.
Karen.
So she came out.
That was like a shabba real quick.
So, right. So then the manager comes out, Dion, and says to
Of
me,
course.
hey, so I heard you can't you guys can't take more than one. Well, our policy, oh. So you can, but it's your policy not to. Is that what you're telling me? Well, I mean, we could, but we don't. And I humming. Then she gave me one of these. Would you like your tab just for you and your wife? And I looked at her clear as day, and I said, what we not gonna do, we ain't gonna do this. Don't do this. I said, I want to ask.
You should see
I,
my face right now. Like,
I wanted to answer to my question, and you gave it to me. You can go away. And then she stood there. I said, I'm done. And she walked away. Bro, don't call me
I
a
know they
kid.
happy your ass ain't coming back. I
Never
know
going.
they happy your ass.
Never going back. Never going
what's the
back.
name of the restaurant? Are you gonna tell us the name of the restaurant?
I will. I'm gonna pull it up here. Unless
How
Marissa's on here, right? She says, "Haha, yes, that's how you said it." LOL. Look, man.
What's the name of the restaurant, Marissa?
how dare a business have a policy that makes it easy for them and not for you? The audacity
You're
of
right.
these free enterprising
You
motherfuckers.
wait. Hold on. You got a lot of nerve, buddy. You got a lot of nerve. So I'm gonna ask you to donate 11 cents I just had to go off. That money is at least going for poor kids off in the orphanage.
No, it's not.
This,
That's why I'm not giving it. My 11
Oban,
cents going to a
Oban.
poor orphanage is going to keep the orphanage poor.
Here's my
Let me
point.
tell
Here's
you
my
that.
point. I wanted to tell the story, but this is why it bothered me so much. Because with every instance, these restaurants are putting more and more of their shit onto us. There is an old adage when it comes to being in business: pay to play. I don't give a fuck if you don't want to pay whenever time a credit card gets swiped because the credit card company is hitting your pockets, because that is them doing business free enterprising way. That is your problem. Do not sit here and tell me what I have to do when I come out for a night. Now, normally, I'm gonna tell you what, Dion. No, Dion, you see me do it. You see me do it. Normally, we go out. The fellas go out. We have dinner. We have drinks. Everybody, you throw your card down. Sometimes you come out on top. Sometimes you don't. Just split it down evenly. Be done with it. But I make that decision. You don't
Yeah.
tell me what I'm going to spend. What if you have somebody who comes and they can't afford to cover all of a large portion of someone's tab? You see what I'm saying? Or go, what ATM am I supposed to go run to go get cash?
Let
So
me,
these
let
are
me, let,
stupid fucking things. Go ahead.
you just said they get hit over the head by the credit card company and that's their problem.
That fucking is a problem.
So you walked into their business and your problem is maybe everybody can't afford to put down plastic. They're going to tell you the exact same thing you just told them with the credit card company. That's your fucking problem. This is the rules. You don't fucking like it. Kick rocks. Don't bring your broke ass back around here.
Well,
So that's why I'm laughing is because you mad at them for doing what you telling them to do to the
then
credit
yes,
card
that's
company.
right. That's right. You can talk to broke people however you want to. I'm not a broke person. So you would treat me
Oh my
accordingly
God.
as that person did. And she said,
Do you want your bills separate, baby?
and I said, we not going to do that.
You ought to clap your hands
I,
at me.
August, I was this close to fucking losing it. Do you want me to, you know that young white girl way? Would you like for me to go
Yes.
get your, and I, you know what I said to her? What the fuck do I want you to do that for? The tab and my card has already went to the back. This isn't about the money. This is about
Yeah.
stupidity and you inconveniencing me.
Again,
Mr. Principal.
you go
I
to
won't be
their
back. I
business.
won't be back. And I tell you what
I
else.
understand.
Everybody I talk to about that restaurant, when I hear about it, no, I wouldn't go up in there, bro. I wouldn't go up in there. I wouldn't go up in there. I wouldn't go. And I know a lot of people.
I don't have any problem with that, but my issue is the idea that you told them that don't make their problem your problem.
That's exactly
Well,
what I said.
that's
You do
that's
you do
literally
that to
how
poor people.
business works.
You do that to poor
When
people.
when there is a supply chain, the middleman
That's not how it
always
works.
passes the buck down to the. It's just trickle down economics, bro.
And Marissa
That's
makes a
how
good
shit
point.
works.
And Marissa says, tell us up front. So she says, well, I took this reservation myself. And I told the person that, and I told her, you didn't talk to me. So now answer my questions.
Okay, so you need to take that up with the person who had the reservation.
I was trying not to lose my cool because I wanted to talk to whomever at that table knew that this was
Was
what
in
this was.
charge. I
And
just pulled up that
That's who you
restaurant.
should be mad at.
so,
That's who you
look,
should be mad at. The
I
nigga
didn't,
didn't tell you what you needed to know.
I didn't say that was the only person I was upset with. I said, I'm telling you this story about this individual.
They just now coming up and the story's over. That's
But
all
oh,
I'm hearing.
but Oban is out.
Oh
I was gonna
my.
say
Okay.
we should do a food review there, Sydney, for my fat girl podcast.
Marissa says that was a big inconvenience. Sid, don't worry. Pretty sure you're not allowed back. Marissa, I'm sure if I walked in that bitch tonight, they'd be set my ass down and be happy to serve me. Won't be
Yeah,
no
but
dining.
only you. They kick all the 9 other
I would.
people you was with out.
Yeah, one card.
You can come, but these other niggas, because I
Be,
know how
I'd
y'all.
be more than happy to take my ass half a block down and go to Dominic's. It's over there in Scottsdale Quarter, just like a half
Yeah.
a block away from
You
Dominic's.
you know
August
what's gonna happen when you get over there, right?
over where?
When they come to Dominic's, you can
What?
get over there, and at the end of the night, the bill gonna come out. Would you like to round up for these kids who appeared at work in this restaurant?
I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you what, Dion. When next time you back out here, we're gonna go to Dominic's. They're not gonna ask you to round up at Dominic's. They got enough audacity to ask you to pay for what you're paying for to begin with on that menu. It ain't cheap to go have anything over at not even appetizer at Dominic's.
Okay.
So They're
I
not
love
asking you to round
Domino's.
up, and I love Domino's. So one of our favorite places to go. Tamara and I
Oh
were
gosh.
raving about it, but yeah, whatever that fucking place is called, absolutely not, absolutely not. Would you like? Don't do this. And she damn near put her hands in her pockets. I don't know who you used to talking to like this. Not no,
Mhm.
this is about to go all
What
bad.
we not gonna do,
Mhm.
boo boo.
Yeah, that's
What
what
we
you.
not gonna
Yeah.
do.
Yeah,
Once they start clapping, it's showtime.
this is about you about to have a bad night because I can get out of jail.
It's showtime.
So,
Okay.
Thank everybody
Exactly.
for tuning in to another episode of Now That's Debatable.
Boy, oh wow.
look, man, there is a right way to do things and a wrong way to do things. And I still don't know where the fucking tab came from. We're sitting there still drinking, having a good time. I still got sake left over. And I look up and I see a tab sitting there and people putting cash. I'm like, where the fuck did that come from? I thought we was having a birthday night, man.
Mm, mm, mm.
I was about to order another round of drinks. Let's
Listen,
go.
They said
every
they said
person's
sit down.
opinion is valid, no matter how ridiculous it's based.
Next time you hear, next time you hear, I'm gonna make sure they round your ass up everywhere we go.
Somebody.
See, Marissa agrees with me. Marissa says exactly. I don't know where the tab came from. I just happened to look and see the fuck.
So they didn't say, "Are you guys finished or done?" They just came back and just threw it down.
Somebody had to ask for it. I'm not trying to out anybody,
Okay.
say anybody's name. I don't know where it came from. Nobody on my side of the fucking table asked for it, so I don't know where it came from.
Mm.
Uh, Facebook user, I'm assuming says, love your passion, Sydney. Totally agree with you on the restaurant. Thank you. Is that said?
That was Joanne Little.
Joanne Little. Joanne, thank you very much, Joanne. Appreciate it. So, yeah, man, just stop. That was just my one thing. I agree with Dion with the rounding up. I'm tired of that. We talked about that night too, Dion. Like at the airport, there's no one even manning some of these cash year spots, but and you ringing yourself up, but there's still a tip window that comes up. Tip
Oh,
who?
that's so annoying. That's so annoying.
So
That's
this is the
annoying.
stuff I'm talking about. Everything you're doing is to inconvenience us. Now
So
you're
do you
asking
tip?
for us to tip more because you don't want to pay people properly, and you want our tip money to go towards that. You want this to happen because you don't want to pay money to the credit card companies, and that's all I'm saying. That's all
I
I'm
have a
saying.
question. I have a question. Do you tip on carry out? If you go to pick up food, do you tip carry
Hell
out?
no.
Oh,
Who?
He's a conservative. Why are you asking stupid questions? Your
That's
opinion is not valid.
That's not true. That's not true. Because I'm gonna tell you what, Dion. I'm gonna tell you what. When the tab came, after they split it, it was between myself and Marissa's husband. We both had a tidy portion of this tab to fucking pay. I was so pissed still. I didn't even think that on a large group they probably already tagged it with gratuity.
yeah.
I was still going to tip $30 on top of what I was already paying until I thought about it.
Hmm.
So it had nothing to do with me being angry and spiteful or anything. I was
That's
still going to be kind.
that's not what I was saying. I was saying, of course, Sydney doesn't tip someone who didn't do anything for him.
Yeah, but who
That's
am I
Yeah.
tipping for what?
The carrier,
exactly. That's why he
the
doesn't tip
chef,
on
the
the
person that
carrier.
made the food and the person that prepared the food. That's what I was told. So I at least tip $2 or $3
I ain't
if I'm
tipping
doing
jack
carry out.
shit. I ain't tipping jack shit. I'm like Dion said. I'm not trusting you getting that back there. I know people who've worked in the kitchen cooking.
Yeah.
They don't always get any of those damn tips either. So I'm not tipping nobody
Okay.
jack. Walk your ass out here and do something.
Here's a tip: serve me next time.
Oh my! Sit your ass in the restaurant.
Here's a tip. Go get a real
Oh my
job.
god!
Let's see. It was up there. Mary, let me go back up here. Marissa put up
Oh, and the
Oban.
automatic 20%
Oban.
gratuity.
Oban. Yeah, it was automatic
Yeah.
20% gratuity. You don't
Yep.
mind. Your system doesn't mind doing that part of the business. Now does it? You stupid
Mm-mm.
motherfuckers. All right. Now I'm enraged.
That's how it is in Florida. They automatically add that 18 or 20% gratuity. So I never tip when I'm in South Beach ever
But
because
you
it's
know,
already on the check.
the weird thing is, I normally tip above 20% anyway. So the way I
Hmm.
see it, you're hurting yourself.
Exactly.
You're hurting
As
yourself.
someone who was a server for a very, very long time, the gratuity being added to bills, especially larger tables, is to prevent the often occurrence of people not tipping what they should. It's not something to get people. It's not that the business itself is out to fuck you over. It's to protect the individual server who's working that large group. Whether it's right or wrong, we can have that conversation
It's
for another
wrong.
day.
It's not right or wrong. It's
Fair
wrong.
enough, Scrooge McDuck over there. I understand. I'm just saying
I'm gonna tell
the
you why it's
Scrooge
wrong.
business
McDuck.
the business does that to protect the server
I
from.
understand, but I'm gonna tell you why it's wrong. Because more often than not, and a lot of people will say this. I don't know about you, but a lot of people I have conversations with, when there is a large party, the person who is serving that large party, I very few times is that person a hustler or moving quickly to get anything done because they know
Mm-hmm.
they're getting the automatic gratuity anyway. I get better service out of somebody who doesn't know what they're going to get out of as opposed to someone knows they're getting hit. They're going to get this. I'm making this regardless. I go slow as I want. I'll come by this
Yeah.
table once every once in a while anyway.
Again, as have you ever worked? Have you ever been a server? Have you ever served a large party? Let me tell you, the occurrence of that happening versus someone who is busting their ass and the people that they're serving are assholes are not equal. Let me tell you, baseball parents, traveling baseball teams are the worst tipping motherfuckers. They ask for a shit ton of extras. They don't watch their kids. Their kids make a mess and they tip like shit. So what our business did was we're going to stop this because it kept happening on a regular basis. Anytime these large groups come in here, anybody over 8 or 9 people, it's an automatic gratuity because at the end of the day, it don't matter how hard you're working. If you got that large a group of people, it's taken away from other customers that you have because that's not the only table you have. Now, if it's the only table you have and you drag it ass, you're a shitty server, fine, so be it. But at the end of the day, most of the time, it isn't that the server isn't a good server.
Look,
Most of the time.
look. I'm gonna tell you what should happen. Instead of the restaurants adding gratuity, maybe they should be paying the fucking kicking in a little extra, since y'all are so great workers and you're being hamstrung with this large party.
Again, but when one person is serving a large group, inefficiency declines. You know, but as a person
Mm-hmm.
who's out and partying and enjoying themselves, you don't think about that. This is one guy serving 13,
Yeah.
14, 15 people with different needs. It's not like y'all all ordering the same thing. So in that regard,
Mm-hmm.
Look,
both
I'm
both
what.
parties could hold on, let me finish. Both parties could give and
No,
take.
you
I
know, I
agree
want to
with
hear
you.
you always coming to the rescue of servers of America all the time. How is
Yeah,
it?
because I was one for a
No,
long
no, no,
time.
no,
Yeah.
no. Because I've seen good servers do the exact same job and do it well. Not often, but seen it done. So it can be done. If it was something where
Okay.
it's is
So
always
are we
piss
talking
poor,
about the minority or are we talking about the majority?
I'm sorry, which in terms of
You said you've seen good
The servers.
service,
that's the
right?
minority. That's the minority.
I I wonder why is it how every time you go out, the good service is in a minority. Maybe that's just a you
Nope,
problem.
nope, 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 nope. I said nope, nope, nope.
Because the vast
Answer
experiences
no,
I've had
stay,
when I'm
nope,
going out.
stay. But you were a server, so you give more allowance for bullshit.
No, as a server, I know what good service, mediocre service, and bad service is. And I guarantee you, you and I don't have the same thought process when
I
that
know we
comes to
don't.
happen.
Again, because you used to be a server, so you allow for bullshit. That's been not as debatable. We
See,
appreciate you guys for
you
Oh
watching.
dirty
my God.
motherfucker.
Yeah,
You serve me and close the
Everyone,
tab.
everyone
You
have
dirty
yourself.
motherfucker.
Everyone out there have a great
Oh, I'm gonna get
week.
your ass
We
next
will
week.
see you guys. We love you all. August, thank you
Oh
for
wait,
doing your thing.
are you here next Monday? That's Memorial Day. So I'm like, I didn't think we were doing anything
Oh,
that day
hmm.
because I'm flying back that day.
All
So
right. Well, maybe you
just
won't
let
be
me
on.
know.
We make
I can
maybe you
still be on, but let me know. I could
take
be. I could go live from
Dion.
Puerto
You want to
Rico.
Dion? What you say? Yes, no.
I'm up for it,
All
but
right.
we'll post it in the group and we'll do a poll if y'all want to.
Whenever we see y'all, we'll see you.
Yeah,
Thank you guys for
yeah.
watching. Have a great week. Have a great Memorial weekend. Dion was wrong again. August, you were amazing. Whoever
Thank
agreed
you.
with me in the chat, you were awesome. Whoever didn't, I hope you stubbed your toe on your way to bed tonight. Good night. Everyone have yourselves a good time.
And light
Fuck
skinned people smell like
you.
pig.
Fuck you too.